if you're joining us for the first time today. And a very good morning and welcome to everyone joining us virtually. And again, if this is your first time with us for this 3-day affair, we welcome you. My name is Kokui Salome Hansen. I'm your MC and moderator for this year's event. And I'll give you a rundown of what happened yesterday and a preview of what we can expect tomorrow, which will be our final day of the fair. But before then, a big thank you to all of the entities that have made the job fair possible. The German government, funding from Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, German Development Corporation, or GIZ Ghana, the Ghanaian-German Center for Jobs, Migration and Reintegration, Program Migration and Diaspora, or PMD, Program Migration for Development, Migration and Employment Promotion Component of the Program for Sustainable Economic Development of GIZ Ghana, the Delegation of German Industry and Commerce in Ghana, or AHK, the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations and its Labor Department. Thank you so much for the support that you've given for us so that we can bring you another edition of the Ghana Job Fair. Now, as we mentioned yesterday, this is the first hybrid edition that we've had. Obviously, in response to COVID, we had to rethink things. So for those of you who may have been at the huge event we had at the trade fair a couple of years ago, you'll remember what that in-person experience was like. And we had so many exhibitors there for you to interact with one-on-one, in person, physically. Then, of course, last year, thanks to COVID, we went fully virtual, which in itself was a huge accomplishment. And this year, we've decided that it's a bit of a half and half mix, all right? But of course, we're observing all protocols as we should. So for those of you watching us virtually, if you were to be here, you would see everybody in masks. You would see us social distancing. We have not forgotten that we're in the middle of a pandemic. And so we're adhering to the protocols. Now, don't forget that we're streaming live on the GIZ Ghana YouTube page, on the Ghanaian-German Center Facebook page as well, and on the Virtually platform. Now, for people who registered ahead of time, you would have gotten access to that platform. Perhaps you're watching us through that platform. And tomorrow, that platform is going to be extremely important because we'll have our virtual exhibition where you can interact with all of the employers who have signed up for this year's job fair. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Now let's do a quick rundown of how yesterday went. It was day 1 of this year's job fair. We were privileged to have the Deputy Minister for Employment and Labor Relations here, Honorable Bright Rekubrobe. We also had addresses from the Country Director of GIZ and the Deputy Head of Mission at the German Embassy, just to welcome us and to give us an overview of what we could expect. Now, dignitaries who joined us were taken through the various sessions by Mr. David Tete. And our head of the Job Center, Benjamin Versten, who's going to be here shortly to talk to you about the center and what they offer, also gave us a quick rundown of what the center is up to. Now, some of the topics that we covered were under 2 categories: skills for employability and entrepreneurship. Now, if you didn't know this before, on the 2 streaming platforms, Facebook and YouTube, we've divided the sessions. So if you're watching us on Facebook, that is where you'll see all of the topics that deal with skills for employability. So your CV clinics and your interview sessions, all of that will be on Facebook. For entrepreneurship, those topics will be on the GIZ YouTube page. So for those of you interested in that, that is where you can watch those sessions. And if you're on Virtually, you can get a bit of both, all right? The same will apply for today. Again, skills, Facebook, entrepreneurship, YouTube. So please join us virtually on those platforms if you are doing so. If you're here in person, then you've already been told where you are. You've already chosen where you are. For those who want to do the skills and employability training sessions, you will stay in this room. For those who want entrepreneurship, there's a room downstairs where you'll be ushered, and you'll continue with those sessions. Yesterday was fantastic. I see Yasmin from Africa Bag is already here, and she facilitated the skills and employability sessions. Then we had our personnel from Skyline Consulting who dealt with the entrepreneurship side. And so we're very grateful to them. They'll be here as well today, talking you through those various topics and sessions. Now, I'm going to ask Benjamin to come back up here. Benjamin Versten is the head of the Ghanaian-German Center for Jobs, Migration and Reintegration. He'll give us an idea of what the center has been doing. But before that, just to let you know how successful the fair has been so far, We've had thousands of people joining us, over 3,000 people actually, joining us virtually and in person here, which is fantastic, considering the fact that we're working with certain limitations. But it just goes to show that technology doesn't have to dampen an event like this. So it's very successful, it continues to be so, and we continue to encourage you, especially those watching virtually, to take part in all of the sessions, and of course, to look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be having a major panel discussion dealing with the topics of employment. We'll be featuring the Honorable Minister for Youth and Sports, the HR Director for Allianz Insurance, Joyce Darkun, who's the head of the YEA, Enoch Kujo from SNV, John Duty with GIZ, and we'll be discussing existing employment promotion measures and whether or not they are meeting the needs of the Ghanaian youth. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. We'll also have a keynote address from the HR of Vodafone on creating sustainable employment opportunities and the role that stakeholders play in that. So that's going to be a very interesting discussion. Then, of course, we'll have our major job fair proper and exhibition for employers so that job seekers and employers will meet virtually on the Virtually platform. Right, now that we've dealt with all of that, again, let's welcome Benjamin Versten, the head of the Ghanaian-German Center for Jobs, Migration and Reintegration, to give us an overview of the services and programs that the center offers. Welcome, Benjamin.
Thank you very much, Kokwi, and good morning once again. It's a pleasure to speak to you on the second day of the Ghana Job Fair 2021, the hybrid edition. And thank you for attending the event, and once more I hope that it will be a successful one for all of us. And it's great to see that yesterday already pulled that much attention to the event, and we hope that we'll be able to package a nice program for you to sustain this attention and make it worthwhile and culminate in the actual engagement with the employers tomorrow. I wanted to invest 5 minutes of our time to give you a brief run through what GIZ Ghana and its programs are offering in the area of migration, employment, reintegration, and diaspora. Now, you heard a lot of program names and titles: the Ghana-German Center for Jobs, Migration, Reintegration, the program Migration and Diaspora, the program Migration for Development, the Migration and Employment Promotion component of the program for Sustainable Economic Development. So what do all these programs mean and do? In a nutshell, GIZ Ghana, through these programs, which team up to offer services in the area of migration, employment, diaspora, and reintegration, provides services along the migration cycle. What does that mean? So we provide services for the local population to show them ways how they can make it in Ghana, how they can succeed economically, socially in Ghana, find a job, start a business, integrate in the society. And then we move along the migration cycle. The various stages are before migration, during migration, and after migration. And in these stages, we have offers for all kinds of needs of our target groups. Yeah? So I mentioned the needs of the local population. Now let's look at the before migration stage as well. Yeah? We also offer information about options and also challenges of migration, so that whoever intends to migrate abroad also does that on a well-informed basis. Often people hurriedly enter a migration project without having checked the opportunities that are on the ground. So we want to make sure that people make an employment, a choice for local and a choice for abroad on a well-informed information basis, knowing the opportunities but also the challenges abroad and the options here on the ground. And for that very much, the service that we offer is the Ghanaian-German Center with its advisor team. I would like the advisory team of the GGC here in the room, please, to stand up. I see Marigold, Clean Light. Marigold is the only one. So there's more colleagues. I think they are roaming. Probably Clean Light is there. Please stand up. Yes. And then we have Kweku and Ernestina as well with us. So you can engage them here. The ones at Marriott can make use of the occasion to engage them. Everybody wearing a GIZ brand dress can be approached. And those online, our Facebook is there, our contact numbers are there, and basically everything that I'll be telling you now, our advisor team is most aware of, so they can function as a guide to all the various offers that GIZ has in stock when it comes to migration, employment, diaspora, and reintegration. So a very important aspect of migration is also during migration. We all know that Ghana has a sizable diaspora overseas, and also particularly in Germany. It's the 5th biggest Ghanaian diaspora in the world, and the program Migration and Diaspora offers a lot of services for those people who are in the diaspora and would like to probably contribute to the development of the country. Yeah, maybe through returning after gaining education in Germany and bringing that knowledge back to the country. We support that through salary subsidies in the course of our returning experts instrument, but also for those who want to return maybe on a short-term basis and stay in Germany basically for the time, but maybe want to contribute for some weeks and months in some engagement form. For that we also have an offer, which is the so-called Diaspora Experts offer, where we also provide allowance and a support package for people who want to engage in these ventures. And I see our colleague Prince, please stand up, who is very knowledgeable about these kind of services. Then again, in the during migration stage, the diasporians form associations and organizations, which are often also oriented towards contributing to the development of the homeland, of the motherland. So we also support those organizations with funding if they want to organize projects together with local NGOs for certain development aspects, social development, economic development. For example, university teachers in agricultural science could come to a rural area of Ghana and engage for knowledge transfer of certain agric aspects, just as an example of the support that diaspora organizations give to the development of the country, and what we at GIZ Ghana also are supporting. Then when it comes to the return stage of migration, so we had the before migration, we had during migration, now we have after migration. Obviously here we have a lot of services to help people who have been abroad to reintegrate in society, again with a focus on returnees from Germany. So we support them with a lot of employment promotion packages, help them start up their businesses, help them find a job, build their skills, help them also to socially reintegrate, to cope with all the psychosocial challenges of reintegrating into the country. And, the offers that we have for the various target groups, so for diasporians, people who are thinking to migrate, and people who are returning from abroad. Then what we also do is, obviously together with our political stakeholders, we try to bring that experience with managing migration to the policy level and also to the organizational level, where we build the capacity and help our political work together with our political stakeholders to assist them design migration policies, diaspora engagement policies, labor migration policies in a development-oriented way. Yeah, so this is the package that GIZ Ghana and its various programs offer. And as I said, you're in the lucky position that at the Ghanaian-German Center, you have a team of advisors that are well versed with these various offers that are in stock. So don't hesitate to approach us here at Marriott through our colleagues and online through the Facebook page. And I'll also be happy if you engage me during the event. I'm available. And yeah, once more, looking forward to all of you making use of those services that we provide. And now, first and foremost, wishing you a very insightful and successful day. Please take the most out of it. Let's be in the now, in the moment, enjoy what the experts bring to us, and then get it to the street tomorrow when we engage the employers and land our future dream jobs. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Benjamin. Benjamin Versten is the head of the Ghanaian-German Center for Jobs, Migration and Reintegration. Let's quickly do an overview of what we can expect today, day 2 of the 2021 Ghana Job Fair. So we'll be splitting again, as I mentioned. We've got skills and employability training, and then we have entrepreneurship. Now, for those of you doing skills and employability here at the venue, you will stay in this room. If you've chosen entrepreneurship, again, you'll be shown the room downstairs. Now, for skills and employability, we'll start off with interviewing for jobs. Interviewing for jobs. So for those of you who want to hone your interviewing skills, this is the one for you. And I already see Mr. Isaac Saki here, the CEO of Learning Organization. He's ready to go already. He was here yesterday as well. There he is. Thank you. Then that's from 10 to midday. So you'll get a good chance to have some mock interviews and see what you can do. From 1 to 3, that is where mock interviews and the continuation of the CV clinic will be happening. And if you're watching virtually, you can still participate. You can still see what's going on. And all of this will be facilitated by Africa Bag. And Yasmin is here, as I mentioned earlier. Now, after lunch, that's 1 to 3 for schools and employability. For entrepreneurship, starting this morning, we'll be discussing understanding the needs of the customer. Understanding the needs of the customer. All right, so that will be downstairs. And then after lunch, digital tools to build market-ready enterprises. Digital tools to build market-ready enterprises. And those discussions will be facilitated by Skyland Consulting. So, any questions, you can always go to social media, the Ghanaian-German Center Facebook page. There'll be a lot of information shared there, and you can also send any questions, comments, or suggestions that you have. And so we're ready to go on day 2. Are we ready to go? I think so, right? How many people are staying here for skills? Good. And entrepreneurship? Going down. All right. I think it's time for us to move. Again, this is day 2 of the 2021 Ghana Job Fair. Our hashtag is Ghana Job Fair 21. Let's interact on social media and in person. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you.